Good morning, kids, and today we're checking out a brand new video from True Green 7 of telling even more cartoon characters in the Pokemon episode 4. Let's hop in and see who gets to Pokerize today. Pokerize? Settle down though.
Hey guys, Ron here, and for almost 2 years now, I've been making videos where I turn pretty much anything into a Pokemon, and in this series, I've turned some of your favorite Western animation mascots into some okay Pocket Monsters, if I do say so myself. Hey, if I can manage to make a Peter Griffin Pokemon, then I can pretty much do anything. I could probably fly. Let me try.
Let him cook!
Never mind. Never mind.
Who let that man cook?
It's not easy translating these incredibly goofy and sometimes relatively mundane human characters into Fakemon, but God is it satisfying when it works. After all, my two most favorite interests are Pokemon and animation, and this series is a perfect way of combining them. So please, if you enjoyed this video and want to see part 5, leave a like and subscribe, and make sure to check out the previous part if you haven't. After this, at least. Now hear me out. Let's say you're a huge fan of any of these shows and want to build a website to enshrine or honor any of these...
I can already tell what this is. It's an ad. So we're gonna cut, and we're back for the Pokemon, starting off with Scooby-Doo. Well, that's interesting.
Let's begin with the most
Definitely
requested
gonna be a
character,
ghost type.
Scooby-Doo. Scoober-Doo. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Just a good old Great Dane. Loves to eat, is scared of ghosts, and solves a mystery here and there. Scooby-Doo's a cartoon icon. Probably the oldest cartoon show to stay relevant, and I don't count Looney Tunes or Mickey Mouse since those started out as animated shorts on the
There
silver
you
screen.
go.
The funny thing is, while Scoob is an animal, he's pretty much bare bones. I'm gonna infuse a lot of aspects of the show into our Scooby Fakemon by turning him into a ghost. Now that does kind of
Hey,
imply that I'm
yeah.
going to kill Scooby-Doo, and that's correct.
Okay, the only reason why I actually even said that is because it's on the damn thumbnail.
But he won't mind since he'll look really cool. I want to combine him with the generic ghouls from the show. Visually, the green ghosts are probably the most iconic looking disguises in the show. They fit the aesthetic perfectly and have a great color scheme to use for our Fakemon. So what if we had this ghost dog that solves mysteries of the past? It eats evil souls but is never full. It's cowardly but brave when it needs to be. But that's
Aw.
obvious given the subject. Let's do this. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Literally
let's go.
Scooby-Doo's face with some streamlining. His eyes will be lit dots inside of a dark pattern that is in the front of his face to be slightly reminiscent of the green ghost cloak and a grim reaper-like specter in general. The rest is simply the body of a Great Dane. Its expression was quite blank, so I thought a tongue out would give him character. Then I'm turning his
Completely.
collar into shackles to show that he's tethered to this world. I'm gonna turn his tail into a question mark with a spot as the dot
Oh.
to the mark. Adding some marks that allude to
Obviously.
bones and adding the green ghost colors, which are honestly the colors of Scooby's collar a little bit. I thought the white gradient added
yeah, a little.
contrast since it was getting too dark. Ask what's new to Hounded, the sleuth Pokemon from...
Wow, that was pretty fast. But look at this. Oh, hold on. Let me move. Hold on. Look at the shiny. The shiny is just original Scooby-Doo. That's awesome. You know what? Since the only thing down here on this corner is just the size, I'm gonna stay down here so that y'all can see the shiny as well. Let's continue.
Hound and Undead, a ghost steel type with the abilities Levitate and Gluttony. Hounded are incredibly cowardly, but will bravely act when their friends are in danger. They are always hungry and will often float towards delicious food. Hounded, however, does not eat material food, and in fact does not eat to survive at all. Hounded consumes the souls of the wicked. It sniffs around using its sensitive nose, which can sense the past in order to locate lost souls in the present. It can easily detect lost possessions, especially those made of metal. They are excellent detectives, but can only be motivated by the prospect of consuming evil ghosts, despite being afraid of them. They can strain enemies with their chain leash.
Imagine trying to offer this thing a Scooby snack. Want a Scooby snack? No. Oh, want this undead criminal? Yes.
Pulling their soul from their body in the process. Hounded will place the soul back in their foe's body if they are pure of heart. They have a signature move called Spooky Snack. Hounded will immediately eat the berry they are holding, nullifying any stat reductions to it, as well as preventing any stat losses for 5 moves. If the opponent is holding a berry, though, Hounded will consume the opponent's berry instead, preventing it from sacrificing its own berry. The shiny is closer to Scoobert's color scheme, while also looking like a pastry. I think I managed to make a Pokemon with Scooby's literal proportions, while giving it its own identity as a Pokemon with that color scheme and
It's
chains.
good.
It's a dog, so it's automatically adorable, and works perfectly in the Pokemon world.
Next up. Ah, yes, the ad Pokemon. Nah. And we're back with Kim Possible. Okay, this could be good.
Friend of mine, Kim
Could be
Possible.
good.
She can do anything. An ultra acrobatic, crime fighting secret agent cheerleader is great material for a Pokemon. You know, a confident cheerleader Pokemon that knows Kung Fu is pretty cool. Incorporating the hair is a little bit tricky. I'm thinking of turning her into a monkey, something akin to one of her antagonists, Monkey Fist.
Monkey
She'll
Fist.
draw inspiration from monkey style Kung Fu and everything. Pretty straightforward, honestly. At first I was struggling with the pose, but that's because I was trying to pose a character before I even knew what it looked like. That's why I decided to first design it in a static pose. I should do this more often. Classic Steven Silver eyes with Kim's hair. I gotta give an excuse to literally just do Kim Possible's hair, or else this would make no sense. I don't have to come up with an excuse for the lips, though, because those are gonna stay no matter what. I think combining the hair with the tail, like Mega Mewtwo, kinda gives it a manky aesthetic, but with a feminine body. The body basically comes out of the ball of hair. Her fists are covered in fur that looks like a fireball, but are also pom-poms, giving her a fighting stance with patterns that resemble her belt, but also the pattern on her cheerleading outfit, or uniform. Her fur looks like baggy cargo pants, capping off the Kim Possible look. The colors are her mission clothes, but so that the face has more of a monkey shape and isn't just straight up KP's colors, I added some black to the forehead to look like a headband. Called Chim Possible, the outstanding Pokemon, a fighting type with the abilities Inner Focus.
Oh, come on. What you should have done with the shiny is make it green so it looked like Shigo. I don't know why you went with purple, man. And I mean, I can't be upset. It's your Pokemon. You went with what you want. But I'm still going to be saying you should have gone with green.
Super Luck, and Justified. Chim Possible are exceptional at almost all that they strive to do. They train all day in packs, hurling each other in the air to practice acrobatics and cheer on the other wild Pokemon. They are kind and love to help. They take on any challenge. In battle, they use their pom-pom hands to misdirect foes and land devastating kicks. They are fast learners and rarely fall for the same tricks in combat. Chim Possible are thought to be the most intelligent fighting types found in the wild. While their agility and intellect makes them tough to capture and train, they will always help a trainer in need. Chim Possible has been observed temporarily adding themselves to a trainer's roster in order to help them win a battle, before running back into the wild after their victory. Their shiny is a nod to Kim's final season outfit. This one was super tough since I had to maintain the appearance of Kim, or else it wouldn't look like her at all, while finding a way to make all her attributes work on a wild animal. I think it was clever, but I can see how this may cross the line. It's as humanoid as a Pokemon can get, but I believe it's justified considering what we're doing here.
Yeah, it's okay.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were...
Okay, now come on. What are you going to do for this? Are you going to do a 1 in 4? Oh, I mean the 4 in 1? Or are you going to do something like Mouse Hole or Phalanx?
Without a doubt, the group most requested for Pokemonification. Honestly, kind of easy, because I'm going to turn them into Ninja Turtles. Originally, I was thinking of amplifying their mutant aspects and making them poison fighting types with radioactive, colorful stripes to tie in their headbands and color scheme. But how about instead, we make one Pokemon that has multiple variants. Each color will be a different type and represent each brother. It'll actually be fairly easy to translate each turtle's...
So it would be like Oricorio then, except for fighting.
Colors into types. Raph will be fire type, considering he's the most aggressive and fiery. Leo will be water type, since he's the coolest and most disciplined. Donnie is smartest and obviously a psychic type. While Mikey will be electric type, considering he's the most energetic.
Yeah.
The colors really do line up. Our job is to pretty much make sure they don't look too humanoid, and give them the proportions of an actual turtle instead of these honestly very human bodies. Basically starting off with a Ninja Turtle, but with a more turtle-like body. I don't want it to have a virtually human shape of the actual Ninja Turtles. Even make it slouch more with the weight of the shell. Big arms too, so it doesn't look like, you know, a human. Slowly I'm adjusting the face to make it have a beak like a real turtle, and grunging it up a bit. I want it to look more serious like the original comic, giving it subtle shell armor and spikier shell and undercarriage so that it looks dangerous. The headband and patterns on its arms are made of the element that it has depending on its form. Refining it before going with Leo's color scheme first, since I needed to make sure the greens could potentially work with the clashing blue. Settling on Raph's colors, but obviously there will be 4 forms. Say hi to Mewturtle, the half-shell Pokemon, a fighting type with multiple forms. They all have...
For the shiny, he just gave it a black shell. That's actually not too bad.
The abilities Shell Armor, Defiant, and Scrappy. Mewturtle are heroic Pokemon who are masters of combat. They live in the sewers, training and having fun in the process. The scales on their fists extend to become sharp weapons that adorn their knuckles. Mewturtle Red form is physically strongest. They are rude and aggressive, but passionate and loyal. They are the first to act when others are in danger. Using their pronged knuckles, they pierce their foes with their fiery fists. Blue form Mewturtle are water types. They are calm and collected, and will often lead other Mewturtle into battle. battle. They slice their foes with the pressure of their water katanas. Purple Muturtle are psychic type. They are incredibly intelligent and will assess their surroundings and opponents before fighting back. They materialize a psychic staff that they use to pummel their foes. Orange Muturtle is electric type. They are energetic and carefree.
But could you just imagine that? Like, you try to walk up on this Muturtle while it's asleep, it's in its purple form, then there's suddenly just a stick floating in front of you, and it just whops you on the head. And it's like, hey man, I'm not even over by you.
Are naturally talented and rarely trained. They swing their electrically charged fists and tangle their enemies in the electro chain that forms between their hands. Muturtle's shiny is based on Jenica. I don't even know if she's popular among the TMNT fanbase, but it made sense. Honestly, these are my favorite in the series because they look so close to the original inspiration, but have completely different details and proportions to make them fit in the Pokemon world. They are as direct of a translation as possible, while seemingly fitting in Pokemon's art style. And I definitely did more work than I usually do by actually, differentiating them between their forms.
I kind of like what you did. Oh, hold on. We'll see who's last next. And we're back with Gumball and Darwin. Huh. Well, okay.
Duo who will have separate designs, Gumball and Darwin. I was originally just going to do Darwin since he's the most fantastical of the two, and I didn't want to draw another simple cat, but I think I found a way to combine their concepts and lore. The whole idea is that Darwin is simply a pet fish who sprouted legs and adapted to life outside of water. The dude literally evolved like a Pokemon, and he's named after the father of evolution. So how about I create a fish Pokemon that evolved to look more like a cat and walks on land? And then I turn Gumball into a cat that evolved to be aquatic. Basically a fish and a cat became friends and evolved to meet halfway in the middle so that they can play with each other. That sounds wrong. Play together. They both go with the flow, almost like yin and yang. Whenever I say yang, people make fun of me, and they're like, Ron, it's called yang. It's not. It's yang. I don't know why people assume it's yang, like the Anglicanized version of the word. Who cares? I'm probably saying it wrong as well. Also, Gumball's
probably because it is the Anglicized word. Yang. I mean, even if it's pronounced yang, we that speak English pronounce it yang, because that's just what it looks like. Because also, if you drop the G, it would be both three letters, and the only difference is the. So why am I trying to?
Last name is literally Watterson, and he is blue, so water type flows naturally in this family. So I'm making a goldfish with feline attributes. The tough part is turning the extremely cartoony Darwin into a slightly more realistic fish without losing its charm. He'll be walking around and he'll be making a cute cat pose with his fin paws. I went with this more cat-like eye and some fish lips, but everything's in a subtle way so that it stays cute. The fin on its head will face down and look like floppy cat ears. Some whiskers too. I'm separating between the scales on the legs so I can give him the coloration of Darwin's shoes. I'm adding extra colors though, like yellow, that I can add to Gumball too, so that the shared colors showcase how these two are a pair or set. You see, once I had Darwin, I can now give my Gumball Pokemon a lot of similar traits, like fins that act as paws. A tail fin, whiskers, the exact same eyes, the additional forehead scales, and even the patterns on the feet. I'll add more scales on the body so I can add more colors that allude to Gumball's clothes, but I don't want to overdo it. That's why a nice cream color that complements the blue is enough. Say hi to Darwisker, the evolved Pokemon from Charles Darwin, and Whisker, a water normal type with the abilities Adaptability, Quick Feet, and Swift Swim. Darwisker are faster on land than on water. They gleefully run around looking for friends. They can even befriend those that consider it to be food. They instantly dazzle foes with their footwork and fast fin swipes. They keep their distance in battle, running around their foe while shooting powerful water guns. Their aim is impeccable. They sense their opponent's locations using their whiskers. Their shiny is a Gumball reference, obviously. This was another satisfying transition into Pokemon style, since a goldfish is pretty universal and makes sense in the Pokemon world too. Very cute. Can't be complete, however, without Sealine, the evolved Pokemon, look at that, a water normal type from sea and feline.
Well, this is the last one, so I'm gonna go ahead and move myself back up, and there. Alright.
Sealine are curious, yet irresponsible. They befriend their prey and become inseparable. While Sealine are often distrusted at first, they try their best to be loyal and kind. They have great reflexes, and they rival the speed of Golduck in water. However, they rarely have the motivation to win a race against one. Their shiny is obviously Darwin-colored. I'm happy I was able to use both Watterson boys in this series, and make it make sense instead of literally just drawing a walking goldfish and blue cat. They feel like complimentary Pokemon. An even bigger compliment would be leaving a like and subscribing if you enjoyed. Let me know how you'd turn your favorite cartoon character into a Pokemon so I can steal your idea. And make sure to check the...
Well, I think that's enough for today's video. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all you folks later, next time, when we flick on. Peace out.